Our coverage from the Southeast Regional Fruit and Vegetable Conference is brought to you by Ag America Lending. Ag America Lending is a nationwide agricultural land lender offering a spectrum of flexible loan solutions that support long-term success of farmers, ranchers, and rural landowners. They're committed to developing simple solutions for a complex industry by building long-lasting relationships and filling the gaps created by traditional farm lenders and financial institutions. To learn more, visit agamerica.com. All right, I'm here with Will with Greenleaf Technologies. They got some awesome spraying equipment. So give us your spiel. Tell us a little bit about it.
So I grew up in the nozzle business. My dad was actually a nozzle salesman my whole life growing up. And we introduced air induction nozzle technology in '95. And the nozzles were actually made in Germany. They're German engineered by this genius guy in Germany. And it was the first really practical air induction nozzle for use in agricultural spraying on primarily row crop spraying, but they adapt them to every type of sprayer there is, from air blast to even airplanes, every type of sprayer. And it's what the nozzles do is they suck air in and blend air with the spray solution.
Okay.
They create a much more uniform droplet.
Gotcha.
So fewer small driftable fines, but also fewer big sloppy droplets.
Okay.
So you get a more idealized droplet size to get excellent coverage along with the drip control.
So more precise watering.
More precise chemical application,
Okay.
fertilizers and other pesticides, herbicides.
Okay.
And farmers, have been under the gun, especially the last 25 years, to keep the spray on target.
Oh, I bet you don't want any
in the
drift, yeah.
mid-90s is when all the Roundup Ready stuff came out, and people were spraying a lot of Roundup. Well, you don't want that Roundup drifting off to something that doesn't tolerate the Roundup. So you got to keep the stuff on target. And it's even more critical now with some of the new chemistries that have come out, formulations with dicamba or 2,4-D, where they want a really big droplet because they're really worried about off-target movement. They didn't used to spray those things in season, and now they're spraying them over tolerant crops in season, but they got to keep them on those crops and not on the neighboring fruit trees or vineyards, because you do damage to something like that, it takes years to recover.
Gotcha. So speaking of that, you guys have got an awesome little demo of stuff. So explain these.
Yeah, so this is a new thing we're introducing. It's a nozzle drop so that we can spray in canopy. So it's another way to control drift is to spray in canopy. The best way to get coverage is to actually spray if you're trying to get insecticides or fungicides on the top to the bottom of the crop, it's hard to penetrate the top of the canopy and spray down. So if you put a drop in there and spray with multiple nozzles inside, that's the best way to get coverage. And we just did some research up in Ontario that showed, we expected to see better coverage, but we actually showed like a $27 per acre return.
Oh, wow.
And the equipment paid for itself at 300 acres. So we're pretty excited about this technology in all sorts of specialty vegetables. We're using it in corn. We're testing it in asparagus, which is a really tough crop to travel through because of the nature of the canopy.
Okay. That's awesome. So if people want to learn more about Greenleaf Technologies, where can they go?
GreenleafTech.com is our website, or you can call our 1-800 number, 800-881-4832. Or visit us at the next trade show. We're doing about 30 trade shows this year. So
30 trade shows?
Yeah, you should
Okay.
be able to find us somewhere along the way.
That's awesome. All right. Well, Will, thank you.
Great to talk to you. Thanks, Trevor. Appreciate it.
Sweet. All right, here with Brian from Wish Farms. Brian,
How are you? Yeah, you
good.
too.
So we interviewed actually Nick a few years ago with Wish. So
Good, yeah.
Tell us about Wish Farms. What are you guys doing?
So this year is actually going to be our 100th year anniversary. So we're celebrating that by rolling out this guy,
Hey.
the fifth berry to the lineup.
That's awesome.
So get excited about that. So yeah, and then Gary's come out with his book, kind of explaining the progression of Wish Farms through the 100 years. So we're excited about that this year.
That's awesome. So getting ready for the next 100 years, I assume?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So what's your 2022 looking like? I know 2021 was crazy, the pandemic and everything.
Yeah.
How are you kind of looking to kind of combat that in 2022?
So demand is looking really good right now on all four berries across the categories. So pricing's been pretty good for us. We've had some challenges with the weather, like always.
Yeah.
Looks like the Florida blueberry crop's going to be a little earlier. Florida strawberries have been really good right now, but it's been favorable weather so far, so it's looking pretty good.
That's not bad. And so we've been meaning to go. One day we're going to go to the Strawberry Festival. Are you going this year?
Oh yeah, we'll be there.
Is it always a big time thing?
Yeah, we're a major sponsor of the Strawberry Festival.
When is it? February?
It's in February.
February? That's not bad. And I've heard strawberry pizza. Have you
Oh,
had
yeah.
that? Apparently that's a really
Strawberry
big thing.
pizza's where it's at.
That's not bad. I've had it, I think, once, and it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it's good.
It was really good. So if people want to learn more about Wish Farms, where can they go?
You just hit our website, www.wishfarms.com, and you get all the information you need.
Awesome. All right. Well, Brian, thanks again, man.
Appreciate it.
it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, I'm here with Everett with BVT. Everett, how you doing, man? So tell us about bee vectoring technology. What is it?
So we're using bees to carry a fungicide to the bloom in certain crops for disease mitigation and yield production.
That's awesome.
We use either commercially raised bumblebees or existing honeybee hives that are brought to the field for pollination.
Okay, that's cool. So you've got two main boxes, right?
Yep. The bumblebee system is the one that we've developed for several years. This has been in production and in crop production. We have our product in these trays. Those trays go in the top of the hive here, and the bees will walk through the product on their way out of the hive to pollinate. So as they pollinate, they're dropping a beneficial fungus, and they obviously are building their hives through their pollination.
Yeah, exactly.
With the honeybees, it's very similar. It's just a different device that hooks onto the front of the hive and produces a line of powder on what the honeybee guys call the bottom board.
Okay.
That then they walk through. So when they're out in the field pollinating, they're dropping the beneficial, and they're coming back to get more when they come back to the hive.
That's awesome. So what's the response been like? What have farmers been saying about it?
So the farmers that are engaged with it love it. We have a very, very high customer retention rate. It just blows the industry away as far as that of new adopted technologies. We started in strawberries.
Okay.
And even myself, that's where I started working with BVT, was in strawberries. And I was on my hands and knees picking and weighing, and I did 10 different trials in the first year. And we are growing a bigger, better, we're growing a bigger berry, a heavier berry, and it's more resilient. So it packs out better. So your yield increases are going to range anywhere from 15 to 30% in a conventional setting.
Right.
It's obviously rated for organic. It's OMRI approved. So the organic guys love it too, because they don't have a lot of tools in the toolbox, which is a common thing you hear on this trade show floor.
I bet, yeah.
I'm starting to use the term arrow in the quiver. They don't have as many. They don't have as many arrows in their quiver as a conventional guy would do to treat botrytis, monolinea, sclerotinia, and anthracnose. And those are the four big ones that we're going after. Primarily right now, berry crops, almonds, sunflowers, a little bit of stone fruits and cherries. So
Gotcha.
It's got a wide range, but it all depends on what crop you're raising and what your disease pressure is as to whether or not we can be a benefit.
That's awesome. And so for the honeybees and the bumblebees, I'm sure, like, how does this impact their health? Like, they're happy and healthy during the whole time?
They are.
Nice.
I compare it to when you live in a rural area, like being in the South, where we're at today.
Yeah.
A lot of people live in rural areas like myself, and you have to drive out a dirt road every time you leave your home.
Okay.
You'd rather not have to do it, but it's on your way out.
There you go.
So it's not harming anything.
Okay.
And so same thing with the bumblebees. They'd rather not have to walk through a powder on their way out of the hive, but if that's what they have to do, they do it. The honeybees, we spent a lot of money and a lot of years of research to prove that we do not harm a honeybee hive. Now, inherently, we don't want to harm the honeybees because that's our labor force.
Right, yeah, exactly.
We need a thriving hive to vector our product into the field. So we also want to make sure we don't harm it.
Gotcha.
But that being said, we've proven it beyond a shadow of a doubt that we don't harm the development of the hive, we don't harm the larvae, we don't harm the reproduction cycle, we don't harm the honey, we don't. You can't find our product in the honey, we don't slow down the honey production. So there's no negative effect to the hive itself. We haven't proven a positive effect, but being neutral is still where it's a good place to be.
Yeah, that's still not bad. So if people want to learn more about BVT, where can they go?
So they can go to vectoritebvt.com, or they can go to beevt.com.
Gotcha.
And you can produce that.
Yeah, we'll link all that below. It'll be easy to click on. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, cool. Everett, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Trevor.
Cool.
Appreciate it.